The subdominant is the fifth note that goes down. So if you think of sub being below, like sub-zero or submarine, that means sub means going down and dominant is the fifth. So if we do it in the left hand, we've got C as the tonic, number 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth note going down is the F. So the F is the subdominant when playing in the key of C major. Now, the idea of the subdominant is really interesting because what it essentially does is it flips the notion of dominance upside down, and that gives musicians a lot of ways to play music together. If we think, some people think that going 5 notes up in dominance gives it like a bright major sound, and if you go down in subdominance, it kind of gives you like a bit of a more minor sound, and that gives musicians a lot of colour to create music and play. If you want to work out nursery rhymes, that's a really good way to try and feel your way through notes, because hopefully you know what the nursery rhyme sounds like, and then you can work out what the notes are, find your tonic, and if you're playing in C, then you should find those notes and then choose, probably is going to be either the tonic, the subdominant, or the dominant in the bass line, which will fit with what you're doing in the right hand. And that's nice for nursery rhymes because they're all quite simple, but they kind of follow like similar rules and they sound quite nice and pleasing to us. Now, this melody that we've got here is expands the notes a bit in the right hand. So we're going to go C, C, G, G, A, G. But in order to play that legato, we need to just shift our hand a little bit by putting the fourth finger on the G and the fifth finger on the A. And that allows us to play the A nice and clearly without having to sort of change hand position like that in the middle of the phrase. So after 4, let's do those first 2 lines in the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what we need to do is we put our fourth finger back onto the F. And if you look at your music, you actually see that there's a little 4 written above that F. That means move back here, please. And then last 2 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that allows us to go from the F back home to the tonic, but in a nice legato way. So let's play the whole of line 1 in the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, make sure you can do that properly. Then we'll add in the left hand. And remember, because the left hand is like the foundation, the base, we've always got to think of like it being kind of like 2 different things that we're doing at the same time when we play the piano. We've got the melody up here in the right hand, and we've got that bass line, that strength, that sort of foundation underneath in the left. And we're either going to choose the tonic, the dominant, or the subdominant. Now the subdominant and dominance, they're right next to each other, really, the F and the G. But in a harmonic way of thinking about it, they're completely far apart, the opposite. So if you think of it, 5 notes going up is the G, but 5 notes going down is the F. They're kind of inverse of each other. And that's what makes it sound so great, especially in the bass, because it really changes the flavour and colour of the music. Anyway, let's try and play it. Either read the notes in the left hand, or just try and figure it out using your ears. You know, one of them will sound better than the others, and see what happens. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now see if you can work out the rest of the tune. I'll give you a hint. It starts like this. Then work out the rest of yourself. Okay? Do the right hand first, and then see if you can work it out completely on your own what the left hand notes would fit. And that is either going to be the C, which is the tonic, the G, which is the dominant, the fifth note going up, or F, the subdominant, which is the fifth note going down. See what you can do and see if you can put all of that song together.